Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is the 2022 Audi RS3. Now this vehicle is really cool and has some special details that you won't see on any of its competitors. In addition to that, this vehicle is a blast to drive. So as we go around and show you the vehicle, we'll show you the inside, we'll show you the trunk, under the hood, and then we're gonna take it for a test drive and you'll get a point of view of what it's like to drive this very cool vehicle. Now they don't make a lot of vehicles like this anymore. Four-door sedans that are front engine, and in this case, it's all-wheel drive, which is quattro. But one of the first things I want to show you is how cool this vehicle is. I love the black grille. This does have the blacked out package, which is an additional fee and includes 19-inch alloy wheels, as well as summer tires. We know that Audi has one of the most unique LED lights, but when you see that yellow light that turns white, what you may not see is in this driver's side light only. There is the letter R, the letter S, and the letter 3. You might even want to slow down the video just to see the RS3. And then afterwards, it turns into a checker flag on both sides. That's pretty cool. I think it's one of those neat little features you wouldn't know unless you were truly an Audi enthusiast. But for you, as the driver, you get to experience that, and I really like these LED lights and how they move along much like that checkered flag or RS3 logo all the way across this lighting structure. This vent down here is functional, as well as the vents here. All of this is functional to keep this engine running cool because it has a pretty good amount of power, and when you drive it, you really get that experience. When you order the black optic package, you get the blacked out front grille, as well as the blacked out logo, which I think is pretty cool, and of course, the blacked out roof. Our blacked out package includes 19-inch blacked out alloy wheels, which I think look really good, especially with those red RS calipers, and you can get optional carbon brakes, which are a lot more expensive. They take a little bit of time to warm up, but personally I like it if you're gonna put this vehicle on the track. If you're not, you may not wanna go with the carbon wheels. Our test vehicle rides on 265 3019s, and these are Pirelli P0 summer tires. There is also another option. You can buy the performance race tires where you have to actually sign a waiver that says that you will only use those tires on the track because they're pretty much no tread on them, and they're designed for on-track purposes. Our test vehicle is a sedan, and in Europe you can get the 5-door hatchback, which I wish we had here in the US, but we don't. So our only option here in the US is the sedan. I will also let you know that this Camorra gray paint is one of the few specialty colors that they offer. It's an additional $595. If you order the very cool bright green, you also get green details on the inside. Any other color, the yellow or the red or the silver, you will not get that special color detail on the inside. In the case of our vehicle, it does not have green details, unfortunately, but the video that we are included in this package, you will get to see some of those green highlights that are on the dash that I think make it pretty cool. All blacked out trim as well. 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty on this vehicle. There is no scheduled maintenance that is included as part of the price. One of the neat features is this black winglet across the back, supposed to keep the rear end down at high speeds, and I'm sure it does that, as it does have a very high top speed. Taking a look at the back of the Audi RS3, you've got LED taillights and that RS3 logo. I love anything RS. That means it's performance oriented all the time, and it's quattro, which is my favorite. I have an Audi TT RS myself personally, so this is very close to my heart. LED taillights here, nice and clean. Down below, the beautiful, gigantic exhaust system, and these black tips are extra. It's part of that black optic package, black details, and your marker lights. Overall, I love the look of the sedan. I wish we had the 5-door hatchback here, but those of you that are lucky to get it in Europe, everything's the same except for the body style, so you do get the cooler looking vehicle. And I will tell you, people modify these, very, very common to do so. I think I would do that too. Take a look at these fine Nappa leather front sport seats. They're pretty cool, and they have that honeycomb stitching. 8-way power front seats with 4-way lumbar on both sides. Really comfortable seating, and there is memory seating on the driver's side. And if you buy the green package, then you also get the green stitching, which is pretty cool. In the second row, you have those nice, comfortable honeycomb stitch seats as well. 2 child safety seats on the outboard portion. Those just click right in as needed. Behind the driver and passenger seat is netting, which is nice. There is also vents back here. And instead of a regular digital temperature gauge, it has this dial for cold or warm. Kind of different. Doesn't almost make sense. It'd be better off with, I don't know, something. It just seems weird. Below that, 2 USB-C charge ports. In the door, you have more Bang & Olufsen speakers as well as more storage. That unique door handle, which is part of that signature lighting. That's what I see across that. Pretty cool. Soft touch. Beautiful leather seats, though. I have to say they're really nice. And the seats aren't too bad. I'm 5'8", so for me, there's pretty good head clearance. There's also this bump up in the headliner for taller people. You can see that going up. And it's just part of the style and design to get people to fit back here. If anyone sits back here on a regular basis, I highly recommend you figure it out before you purchase the vehicle. When you pull down that center armrest, you have 2 cup holders. There is no pass-through, but this is a 40-20-40 split seating, so you could fold down the center section if you had to put something long in the middle. When you put the vehicle into reverse, you do have a backup camera as well as parking assist sensors. Turn that camera on and off. In front of us, we have a 12.3-inch Audi virtual cockpit plus the displays that offer the performance data. Use the button on the right side of the steering wheel. It'll get you your audio, your phone connection, your navigation, where you can change on the left side of the steering wheel. Press that button and it changes from that ladder style acceleration into a camera. That's pretty cool because you've got your tachometer here and here. Very cool. So you rev it, comes from the top down. Pretty cool. And that's different settings. This is your day, your time, and on the right side of the screen, you've got your power and your torque. Again, it depends on the setup that you have. The drive mode button is underneath the center screen, underneath the climate control, right here where it's easy to reach. That's your automatic setting, your dynamic setting, which gets you that RS torque rear. Now that is part of the buttons that you can only access by going through this button. And when you press this button, it says do not use RS torque rear on public roads for improved functionality. Switch to ESC off. Oh, that sounds like fun. That could be very much fun on a track. There are 2 RS drive modes that are new. It is part of the RS torque splitter, and it distributes torque to the rear axles and the 2 RS specific drive modes, which you can also reach by pressing the RS button right here on your steering wheel. You press that once, you can get to the individual. Press it again, you can get to the performance, which changes everything. But you cannot get to the RS torque rear without pressing it on the screen. You can also do the comfort mode, the automatic mode, the dynamic mode. Listen to everything change. Your shocks change, the shift points change, everything changes when you go to those different drive modes. When you go into the RS individual, you can go in and you can change what you want. You can set it up for suspension, steering, for engine sound, for traction control. All that stuff is right here. And then when you go into the performance mode, you can do the same thing. Go to something that's higher. I would want a sport steering. I want sport suspension. I want the sport on. Yeah, just turn it all on. That's pretty cool. Some additional information that you probably want to know. The comfort mode prioritizes front axle efficiency. Go into that automatic mode and it goes into a more balanced mode of front and rear torque distribution. Go into the dynamic mode and offers a more direct torque to the rear wheel. Again, each system sets up something different, and when you go into that RS torque rear, that allows for controlled drifting. Yes, it can take all the torque and move it to one corner of the car, so you can do drifting and just wear those tires out, which could be a lot of fun. The RS performance modes that are also available over here are designed for track use and to minimize understeer and oversteer in fast cornering. Additional features, that you can purchase the RS Tech package, which includes the Audi Navigation Plus, Bang & Olufsen audio system, and a head-up display for $2,750. Standard is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is really nice. Wi-Fi hotspot and wireless phone charging. Again, on the vents here would be green if you order the green detailed interior. Otherwise, it's going to be just this nice aluminum, and the details and the materials are really nice. Real aluminum, real leather materials. Everything is nice to the touch. And by the way, when you order the green, it's also here on the vents, which are pretty cool. This is something that's pretty cool because if you put a car on a racetrack, one of the big things is engines get very hot. So this shows your engine and oil temperature gauges. You can set that up right here. It's pictures. I know I prefer gauges, but they also have a G meter, which is really cool for acceleration and deceleration. And then on top of that, this is for tire pressure monitoring. But they've added a lot of neat little features that you might want, as well as ambient lighting, which you can change your ambient lighting and your sensors. Down here, you have your drive select, traction control, emergency warning, park assist, and that's for steering. There is wireless charging here, as well as 2 USB-C charge ports, your start-stop button, and this weird lever that when you put your foot on the brake, it can go into all these different drive modes. I understand they were probably trying to do this to make it cleaner and more cool, but it's just a little bit too short. And so when you're driving, your natural reaction as a racer is to put your hand this way. So I guess it's something you're gonna have to get used to. One other thing is this really funky button here that to turn the volume on and off, you turn your finger around the outside of the perimeter, or if you want to mute it, you can press the down. I don't know, I just find it odd. I don't know, it's just a little different. I guess you have to get used to it. Further back, you've got your parking brake, 12-volt outlet, which is kind of a long drag for a radar detector because you will need one in this vehicle, 2 cup holders, and then we've got the key fob here, which does say RS like they all do. It's nice and small and easy to use. Your center console is small and not much to put in there other than maybe your glasses if they fit. To access your glass roof, it's right here. You could open the sunroof and close this just to keep some of the wind or the light down, but it is manual, and that's how it's been on pretty much all the RS vehicles for quite a long time. The RS3 offers a mix of standard driver assistance technologies as well as optional adaptive cruise control and automatic headlights, standard forward collision warning, and automated emergency braking, standard lane departure warning and lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control and lane guidance. Audi Park Assist offers automated parking sensors and available blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert is $350. Under the hood is a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder engine with standard quattro, which is all-wheel drive. 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission with 401 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 time 3.6 seconds, top speed of 160 miles an hour, and that's regulated here in the US, 23 miles to the gallon combined. There is one neat little detail that I did want to show you. As you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those markings are 1 for each cylinder. It is a European touch, so that when you pop the hood, you know if it's a 5-cylinder, a 4, 6, or an 8. All right, 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds. Nice. Okay, this is my kind of car. It is a blast to drive. Tons of power. We are in the RS performance mode here. That's the mode you want. Of course, if you're going to put it on the track, you go for that other one right there, the torque rear. If you decide you're going to use this vehicle on the track more so than not, for $450 you can get those performance tires, and they're going to make you sign a waiver at the dealer that you're not going to use it to make noise on the street, and it's really meant for the track. Maybe it'd also be really cool sticky adhesive tires for the street. Now, the one thing that you'll notice right away when you get in this vehicle, besides improved performance, improved handling, improved stickiness of this suspension, I'm really liking this. Of course, I prefer the virtual cockpit with the navigation in front of me, but because we are out and about driving, I went back with that ladder style tachometer, which I think is cool. You kind of have to get used to it, but I actually like it. Additionally, you You got your power and your torque here. You can go in and get your additional G meter right here. Let's see what this does on the curvies. Gosh, I'm really liking this car. It reminds me a lot of my TTRS, which is a 2022 as well. But one of the things that I like about this car is that it has 4 doors if you're going to use it as your everyday driver. Of course, the TT, the back seats are pretty much useless, but they're great for putting stuff back there or folding the seats down. But as far as this vehicle and how it handles and how it performs, very similar to that vehicle. So if you're thinking about going with the 2-door version, it would be the TTRS. Oh, nice, sticky. Like it, liking it. Let's check the turning radius on this vehicle. It should be nice and tight. My TT is as well, very similar underpinnings. Pretty close. Yeah, I'm liking this car a lot. It's very easy to drive, super fun. One of the things I like about the RS3 is you can drive it year-round, no problem. Winter tires on it, Quattro. It's got phenomenal handling. Remember, Quattro is so good that it got outlawed by the SCCA in the Trans Am series back in the 80s when it came out. I still love those days. That's when racing was really cool. Not that it isn't cool now. It was just a different experience then. And yeah, I was racing in the 80s. So I'm really remembering what Quattro's history is about, all wheels driven, but with the new setup, it'll split the torque front and back, even in the corners if you go into that drift mode, which when you go into that mode here, that's that torque rear. And we could try that if we want. Let's activate it. Why not? You can feel the difference. It handles completely differently in this mode. Even just accelerating, you can feel that it's moving all the torque to the rear of the vehicle. Performance levels of the exhaust, the shift points, the suspension, every single thing changes, and I think that's really important when you're buying a car that is all about performance, and the RS3 is exactly that. I hope they keep making these cars because I know that Volkswagen Group is going mostly all electric. I'm hoping that they don't forget the performance aspect of this vehicle, which is gasoline powered and a blast to drive. I know you can get performance in an electric vehicle. It's just not the same experience. The one thing about the RS5 is it just wants to go. It's like a dog, a bigger dog, not the biggest dog, but a bigger dog that's pulling on the leash. It just wants to go. And you know, if you let that leash go, it just takes off. That's what this car feels like. It is fun to drive. It is well balanced, much like its competitors, which are also very well balanced, especially the BMW M2. Really like the car, really like the balance on that vehicle. And then the one thing about this is it has one of the best interfaces, which I think is really important, which people don't realize, is that you need to be intuitive when it comes to this center screen, and that it is. Let's take a look at the trunk. It's 11.3 cubic feet of storage. The seats fold down 40, 20, 40, and of course you can put down that middle section for skis or long items. There is also a cargo net for items, and then underneath this cover is not a spare tire, but it is the battery because it's about weight distribution. So you have a tire inflation product. So that battery is underneath this cover, moving some of that heavy weight to the back. The 2022 Audi RS3 starts at $58,900. Add in that Kimura gray paint, plus the black optic package, and that adds on $2,000, bringing us to $60,900 for our test vehicle as you see it. And I really do like this paint color. Personally, my TTRS is Nardo Gray. This is a very cool color. It has a lot of blue in it as well. There are some pros and cons to the Audi RS3. On the pro side, it has an excellent motor and really good grippy tires. Great handling. Quattro is still one of the best systems out there on the market. I am really impressed with the interior materials and the super comfortable seating and the best technology, the virtual cockpit. In my opinion, it's the best that's on the market. It's really easy to use and it's very intuitive as well. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of that is part of that complete package, which makes it super easy to use. On the negative side, you kind of have to get used to that really short lever shifter. I thought that was a little bit weird. I'm used to an actual shifter, and people that race cars kind of want a shifter or paddle shifters. Yes, you can use the paddle shifters, but that little weird shifter is something you kind of have to get used to. And I truly wish that the 5-door hatchback was available here in the US. Unfortunately, it's not. Now, when you look at the competitors, we have driven them all. The BMW M2 is one of my favorite vehicles as well. Also very well balanced, a lot of performance, 4-door sedan, and the Mercedes-Benz GLA AMG is also a direct competitor. Yes, there are other competitors in this class, but this class is very special because it's a German-built car that is all about performance, compact size, and a blast to drive every single day. And the 2022 Audi RS3 really does perform, and it's got some really cool features like I showed you, the LED lights and just little things about this car that every time you drive it, it just makes you smile. Now, we have driven all the competitors, and I'm sure you have additional questions on things I did not cover. Put that in the comments down below. I am more than happy to answer your questions, and you certainly want to check out the competitors before you make a final decision. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to support our channel, we do appreciate it. You can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below, as well as for our website, our podcast, my book, and of course, all my social media. I'm really curious to hear what you think of the 2022 Audi RS3. I kind of like this car. I wouldn't mind owning it. How about you?